Hey guys, welcome to Capture, Convert, Close, the podcast for real estate agents who want to generate more leads and actually know what to do with them. I'm Althea Hurst, managing broker at Arla real estate educator, and a master of lead generation and systems that turn attention into appointments and appointments into closing because we know that's important. After years of closing over 100 million in real estate and helping agents scale their businesses, I've learned this. Lead generation without systems leads to burnout, and systems without leads don't grow a business. The truth is, you need both. So, on this podcast, we break down how to capture the right attention, convert leads with strategy and confidence, and close consistently without chaos or guesswork. This is where lead generation meets structure. So, let's get into it. Alrighty, guys. So, today we are going to be talking about systems that every realtor should pretty much have in their business, what those systems are and what they are actually for. Okay. We're talking about this because I genuinely feel like most agents think that they need every system under the sun. And I would probably say I am guilty of that because I just love systems. So I want to get in everything. But in reality, you really only need four core systems that actually work together, right? And these aren't just tools, they're the infrastructure that you need to scale. And most agents, especially ones that come to me, say, hey, I'm just trying to scale my business. I want to scale my business. So let's talk about the four systems that you actually need in your business in order to scale. System one is likely what I'm going to probably coin as the most important system, right? That's going to be your lead management system, aka your CRM. Okay. What your CRM is actually for tracking every single conversation. It's also for automating your follow up so that nothing falls through the cracks and you don't leave a lead behind. Your CRM, in my opinion, is not just a database, it's your memory when you're juggling 50 plus conversations, right? So, you trying to keep everything in your head is not your CRM. Your CRM is that memory portal. And your CRM is also all of your custom workflows based on your specific business. If you're buyer focused, if you're seller focused, if you're probate focused, if you're new construction focused, your CRM should have the ability to conform to your custom workflow. If your CRM does not allow for you to customize your database in order to fit your business, you need to look for a new one. There's one, look, that was my fake call, that does not allow for that, right? And if I be honest, nothing against them. Bold Trail is one of those systems that doesn't really have a lot of customization in there. Like yes, you can edit your tags, but you don't want a system that's full of tags. You need a pipeline, you need a workflow, right? So there's a difference between the I'll follow up and actually following up consistently. Okay. So example, I have gotten 600 plus leads, right? And with me getting those 600 plus leads, I have not lost track of anyone. I know exactly where each person is at. Why? Because I have a lead management system and I make sure that that CRM is doing the work for me. So my CRM that I use right now in my business is Lofty. I actually use two separate CRMs. I use Lofty and I use Follow Up Balls. And I can go into a whole explanation as to why I'm using both. Let's just say that Lofty is my main portal, right? Lofty's my main girl, okay? Follow Up Balls, I use that too for my team, for my partnership, because I am no longer in sales. I'm a managing broker. I'm focused on business development for realtors. However, again, I'm a master lead generator and I still generate leads and I run my partnership off of a rainmaker model. So what that means is I bring in the rain, I bring in the leads and I disperse those leads out to my agents, either that's within my partnership or that's within my brokerage. Okay. So because of that, I have two separate systems because as you can see, my business is doing two separate things. But Lofty is my main communication portal where I'm doing all of my nurturing, etc. And then follow-up balls, I pretty much manipulated their individual system and turned it into a team system so that way we can track what every agent is doing. Okay. So that is the CRM that I utilize for my business. I really like Lofty, and I can go down a list of the CRMs that I've been through. I really like Lofty. I think I've been with Lofty now for probably around about the last 2 to 3 years. Prior to Lofty, though, I was with Follow Up Balls, and I was with Follow Up Balls for maybe around about 2 to 3 years with them. Prior to that, I had Lions Desk. Prior to that, I had KV Core. I've had Top Producer. I've had Isaac Contact. I've had Sync. I've had a lot of different systems. Again, I told you guys in the beginning, I'm that systems girl that thinks she needs every system, right? But I've been through all of these systems. My top two are definitely Lofty and Follow Up Balls because you can customize all of your business inside of these systems. Bold Trail, which is also formerly KB Core, it's not the greatest if you ask me, and nothing against them. This is just my personal opinion, but my personal opinion is just that it's not the greatest if you ask me. The interface looks great, yes, but it does not allow for you to customize their platform in order to meet the flow of your business, and that's very important because I personally feel like a lot of the CRMs that are out here right now were built by people that never sold real estate. Like, do you guys feel like that? It's like you get into the CRM and you like, number one, I'm already not great at CRM. So just me logging in was a struggle and me looking at this was a struggle. But now that I'm here and I'm looking at it, everything that you put in here by default doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And I don't know how my business fits into this, right? So that's why I feel like most CRMs were built by people who never sold real estate. And if they did sell it, they sold it a long time ago. They didn't sell it in 2026. I can tell you that part, right? But uh, your CRM is basically that main hub, and those are the ones that I really recommend. If you are, closing at least 4 to 5 deals a month, you definitely need Lofty. If you're anywhere between 2 to 3 deals a month, you can utilize follow up balls. If you're just getting started, Lions Desk is great. Those are your 3 tiers, okay? The second system that you're going to need is a transaction management system. Now, again, great CRMs like Lofty and even Follow Up Balls and also Lions Desk have a space in them where you can manage your transactions, right? Now, my 2 pennies or my 2 cents is if you are inside of a transaction, you definitely should have a transaction coordinator, especially if you want consistent business in your pipeline. Once you go under contract, once you get a listing agreement signed, you need to be handing that over to your TC. I want for every realtor that is listening to my voice right now to hear me clearly say, stop being cheap. Stop being cheap. This is a business. You are not a W 2 employee and you cannot continue to show up in your business that way. You need support and you cannot do it all yourself. And you doing it all yourself is stressing you out and making you resent this business when all you have to do is delegate. Okay, stop it. Just stop it right now. Get you a TC so that way the TC can manage your transactions. TCs typically have their own transaction management system. But if you want to manage your transactions, you want to do that part, then a good CRM like Lofty or even Follow Up Balls and also lines that allow for you to manage those transaction. And what this does is that it helps you not make sure that your deals don't fall apart from contract to closing. And if they do fall apart, is to make sure they show you are falling apart within contractual guidelines, right? So this is you keeping up with all of your deadlines. This is you keeping up with all of your documents. And Follow Up Balls and Lofty allows for you to upload documents into the person's actual file. This is you keeping up with all the contingencies, and this also keeps you in compliance with the contract and your clients as well. And transaction management also helps for you to reduce any errors that could cost you the deal or even cost you money, because I'm sure there are some agents that are listening to this that has lost money in a transaction because they made a mistake. Even I have done that, right? So in order to eliminate all of this, you guys, hence why I say get you a TC, right? Uh, System three. System three is what I would call your marketing and content system. So, what this is actually doing, this is helping you consistently stand in front of your database without reinventing the wheel every week. I just released a 0 to 60K Instagram systems course, which is basically my formula about how I grew my social media from 0 to 60K. Right now, it's currently Sunday, and I literally just recorded all of my content for this week. I only post 3 reels a week, right? So that's 3 reels for one page, 3 reels for another page. However, I have my marketing content system built out. And guess where it's built out at, you guys? Canva. It's built out in Canva, okay? This is where you are basically giving yourself your structure, giving yourself your calendar, giving yourself your expectations of when you're going to show up. And it's not only just writing out the dates and the time, it's also writing out the topic. That's you taking one topic and breaking that one topic down throughout the week, so that way you just stay on point. So that way you're not just posting randomly, you're batching your content, you're scheduling your content, and you are repurposing your content. Now, your marketing and content system is not only just about social media, this is also your marketing for your email database. You also need to make sure that you have inside of this system what email campaign you're going to be sending out that week or that month. And you can make everything come together so that way you look uniform. So that way, if somebody is on your social media and they're also in your database, they're getting one piece of the pie from your database. And then as soon as they get on social media, they see you talking about it again, getting another slice of the pie on social media. And now, great. Now you're really at top of mind for them. That's what you call building your brand while you're actually selling houses. And the good part is, you do all of this from your systems. You schedule all of this out. This is why it's so important to have your lead management system, your CRM, but to also have a marketing and content system. And guess what, you guys? Guess what? Lofty also has a social media portal inside of it. Now, I wish you all could see me have my hand up. I do not use it. I have never used it because I do manually do all of my own posting. However, if you need it, it's there. It is there. It is there. It is there. All right. System 4. Your fourth system that you're going to need in your business is a financial tracking system. This is going to help you know your numbers so you can know what business decisions you're actually going to make, which you need and which you've done. I cannot tell you how many agents I've spoken to, even top producers, even agents that have been in the industry longer than myself. And I've already been 10 years in, right? I cannot tell you how many of them have no idea what their numbers look like. And when I ask them, hey, how are you tracking your numbers? You know what they tell me? Oh, ha 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 ha, through the MLS, or hoo, 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 through the MLS. What? Come on, you guys. We are business owners. Can we stop it already? I feel like this is my second time or third time saying stop it in this episode. Just imagine me popping the back of your hand. Stop it. Cut it out. We are business owners. We are CEOs. Why are you treating your business this way? Do you think that there are any business owners out here right now that are running Fortune 500 companies that don't know their numbers? Do you think the brokerage that you're in right now don't know their numbers? The brokers that you're in right now know their numbers so much that they know the individual numbers of each agent in the brokerage. How many times do they give you all awards monthly for who has the highest volume, who has the highest units, etc.? They know their numbers. What makes you think, or what makes you have the audacity to believe that you don't need to know your numbers? You definitely need to know your numbers as it relates to this business. You need to have a financial tracking system. And the thing about this financial tracking system is that if you want to get fancy and get a software to do it, great, by all means. But honestly, I track my stuff in Google Sheets. I have a great Google Sheet, and it tracks my lead flow. It tracks my deals under contract. It tracks my deals that are closed. And I can pull up this Google Sheet and take you all the way back to 2021 and let you know what I've been doing in my business, what my volume looks like, how much money I made, what my average sales price was, how many times I used a specific title company, how many times I used a specific lender, if it was new construction, if it was a buyer or seller, what day they closed, and the property address. If you were in front of me, I could literally click a button on my phone and it come up. You need to have a financial tracking system, a business tracking system, especially for my agents who say, you know what, this year I kind of want to increase my price point. Well, what's your average price point if you don't know your numbers? And how are you going to get there if you don't know your numbers? It doesn't make sense. Okay. So, with that, now that we went through the four systems, and I'm gonna revisit them again for you. The first one was your lead management system. You guys got that? That is your CRM. Okay. Your second one is going to be your transaction management system, and you can do this inside of your CRM, inside of some of them. But if not, I highly recommend a TC. The third one is your marketing and content system. This is your brand. This is how you're showing up. This is how you're going to consistently get leads, right? And then the fourth one is your financial tracking system. Okay. So let me talk to you guys about some options for your business, right? And I'm gonna tell you all, give you guys a few that are what I use. And oh, you know what I didn't tell you all? You also need a lead capture system. Okay, so let's add five, right? You need a lead capture system, which is where you have a system where you can capture a lead while you're sleeping and they can be taken care of until you wake up in the next morning, right? So you need a lead capture system as well. So options for your business. For a lead capture system, you can use things like Google Forms. You could use Jot Form. You could use Stand Store. You could use Canva because Canva have landing pages on there as well. You can also utilize your CRM, Lofty. Lofty has landing pages on it. Follow Up Balls does not have landing pages. Bold Trail does have landing pages, but it's not fully customizable. But that will be your lead capture system. Those are some ways that you can capture your leads. Calendly, for your calendar booking, you can capture leads right there and add a form to that. A Google site. So if you don't have an actual website up, you can actually create a Google site, which is an actual web page, and put a form on there, decorate it, make it look pretty, and that can be a lead capture form, and that can go directly into your sheets. Okay, so that's lead capture. For uh what was my next one? Not transaction management, but for your client management, for your actual CRM, I gave you guys a good three, right? You have, and this is your lead management. You have Lofty, which is a system I currently use. You have Follow Up Boss, which is another system I use. You have Bold Trail. You have Lions Desk. You have As at Contact. You have Top Producer. You have Sync. You have Brevity. You have a lot of different CRMs that you can tap into to use as your lead management system. Now, let me pause here before I go to the next one. I know some of you all are going to say, "Well, I use my broker's CRM. My broker gives it to me for free." What did I tell you guys earlier? Stop being cheap. Go outside and get your own CRM, please. And get back before the street lights come on. Get your butt back in this house before the street lights come on. And when you get in here, you better have that CRM that is owned by you. Okay. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a brokerage offering you a CRM. In fact, I think it's great. However, are you or are you not 1099? If you are 1099, that means you own this business is fully yours. You should own your CRM because if you step out of the business or if you decide to move your business, you're moving your database. That's it. And if you put the ownership of that database in somebody else's hands, you don't own it. And you could make a shift that will cause you to lose your whole business, or they could make a shift that could cause you to lose your whole business. Ain't nobody got time for that. You do not have time for that. So get your own lead management system. Okay. Next, for your transaction management system, you again could utilize your lead management, which is your Lofty, your Follow Up Balls. You can also utilize Google Sheets to manage your transactions. You can use Contract to Close to manage your transactions in order to make sure things are moving forward. You can use Google Docs to manage your transactions. You can use all of those things. You can use Asana to manage your transactions. You can use Monday to manage your transactions. Okay. Uh, you also have your marketing and content system. For your marketing and content system, please use Canva. Canva is really amazing and have a lot of great tools in the inside that I don't think realtors are taking advantage of. But you have Canva for your marketing. You have your lead management system because inside of like Lofty and Follow Up Balls, you can send out mass emails. If you're doing mass text messaging, Lofty does have that ability to do that. Canva doesn't. If that's the case, you can use Simply Text and you can do a mass text there. You can use Constant Contact. You can use MailChimp. You can use Flowdesk. You have all of those things in order to help you with your marketing and content system. You can also use Google Docs. You can also use Asana, Monday. You can also use Google Sheets. However you feel is going to help you with your content management, you can utilize it. Okay. You can utilize it. For your financial tracking, I told you guys the only thing I use is a sheet. right? I use my Google Sheets and I track all of my stuff inside of that sheet. If you wanted a separate system to actually do it, again, you could utilize your CRM if it's already one inside of the platform. If not, you do have systems like QuickBooks, okay? So, if today's episode helped you think differently about how you generate leads or run your business, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And remember, you guys, real growth happens when your lead generation and your systems work together. Capture with intention, convert with clarity, close with confidence. I'm out there, Hurst, and this is Capture, Convert, Close. I'll talk to you guys on the next episode.